Hello, everyone. My name is Lai Guan Hong, and today I'll be presenting on business ethics and corporate social responsibility, or in short form, CSR, followed by some case studies that I'll be analyzing today. Now, what is business ethics? Business ethics refers to the moral principle, policies, and values that guide how companies and their employee behave, ensuring trust, honest, fair, and responsible conduct in the business activities. Basically, business ethics is what is right and what is wrong for a business to do in their operation and decision making process, which allows companies to make the right decision in any situation. Now, here are the four key elements of business ethics, which are fairness and honesty, organizational relationships, conflict of interest, as well as communication. These elements lay the foundation for ethical behavior within any organization. That's why they are important. First, we have fairness and honesty. Well, it is the action of treating everyone equally and making truthful, transparent decisions in all business dealings, in which they promote trust and sustainability, as well as ethical businesses that achieve long-term success if they practice fairness and honesty. In which, in fairness, they treat all stakeholders equally and there's no discrimination or favoritism in the company. Whereas for honesty, on the other hand, it tells the truth and being open in all business dealings, including advertising, pricing, and reporting how the business is doing. Where fairness and honesty are concerned, businesses that practice these values reap the reward and achieve success in the long term. For instance, when businesses engage in unethical practices such as overcharging customers by placing false price tags, the outcome is failure and lack of customers' loyalty. Ethical businesses therefore set the right price and inform customers the truth, and the outcome is that customer loyalty is important and it can bring success in the long term. Next, we have organizational relationship. It is the definition of professional interactions and connections between employees, management, customers, and other stakeholders within the business. This encourages teamwork and cooperation, improves as well as improving employee morale and loyalty. However, there's also negative side effects if the company's organizational relationships are poor, such as poor relationship with customer and suppliers, as well as damaging the company's reputation and performance, which is crucial for the company. Ethical behavior in a business environment is exemplified by the absence of nepotism, where the organization favors the hiring of family members despite the negative consequences, including the resentment that the company has from the other employee, which causes a huge disruption amongst the company. Okay, now let us discuss the topic of conflict of interest. It occurs when a person's personal or financial interests interfere with their ability to act fairly and honestly. For instances, accepting gifts from a supplier may influence a person to make biased choices, which prevent them from serving any honest decisions, and this can avoid scandals or negative publicity. Now, having a conflict of interest may result in legal consequences, fines, lawsuits, and it may damage one's reputation for the company, which is why it is important not to have conflict of interest within the company. The prevention of a conflict of interest is beneficial to the company as it helps prevent scandals and ensurement of the company's legal rights that interest the companies that are met. So up next, we have communication. It is the exchange of information in a clear and honest manner between employees, customers, and other stakeholders. Effective communication ensures clarity in instructions and prevents misunderstandings. On the other hand, poor communication can cause conflicts between staff, confusion, and reduce productivity. Example of good communication is the honest reporting of company performance to employees helps build trust and aligns everyone with organizational goals. Now that we have covered all the four key elements of business ethics, let us take a look at the implication of business ethics and how are they used. Generally, business ethics have several implications for businesses, including building trust and reputation, prevents conflict and misunderstanding, enhances organizational relationship, as well as boosts customer and market confidence. Ethical businesses are more likely to succeed in the future and be sustainable if these implications are on point and used effectively amongst the company. Up next, here's a real-life example of bad business ethics. In the 1990s, Nike was accused of unethical labor practices in sweatshops in countries like Indonesia and China. Through these sweatshops, they were managed by suppliers. Although the public still held Nike responsible due to Nike neglecting the issue arising from this. That's why they still led to further public outrage, which enrages the public furthermore. The ethical concerns were the exploitation of workers that led to low wage rates and poor working conditions, as well as their lack of accountability of avoiding the issue, which damages their trust and reputation, and also their greedy ideology of profit against human rights that prioritizes profit over welfare of the workers. This led to further public outrage, which damages the brand's reputation and their trust for the consumer. Now, in the perspective of this, Nike focuses solely on maximizing profits while neglecting their workers' well-being, in which this initial backlash shows their poor leadership skills and their neglectance of their workers. So, what did the businesses learn from this case? The businesses learned the importance of respecting the human rights of employees. To begin with, the business was more concerned about its profits and did not care about the welfare of the employees, and that ethical businesses practices are more important in every single way. And that's why it practices to build the brand's reputation even more. So, in conclusion, the backlash led to business to realize the importance of globalization in enhancing the ethical standards of the businesses. The key takeaway from this is that the case was the importance of fair labor practices in the success of the business due to building the consumer's trust and sustainability. Next, we will discuss corporate social responsibility, or in short form, CSR. What is corporate social responsibility, you might ask? Well, it refers to a company's commitment to operate ethically while contributing to economic development and improving the quality of life of employees, communities, and societies. And CSR is going beyond what is required by law and making a positive impact on society and the environment at the same time. Now, why is CSR so important? Well, to put it simply, it helps attract and retain employees and investors, it encourages long-term success and business practices, it reduces legal, ethical, and reputational risk, and it also builds trust and brand's reputation, as well as sustainability. Companies that practice CSR are often viewed as more responsible and reliable by the public eye, which is a good viewpoint for the company. Up next, we have the Archie B. Carroll's 1979 to 1999 CSR pyramid. This pyramid illustrates the 4 different responsibilities a business has to society. For example, economic responsibility, which is to be profitable, legal responsibility, to follow the law, ethical responsibility, to be fair and honest, philanthropic responsibility is to give back to society. This illustrates how making a profit and being responsible are linked and used by corporations. Up next, we will be analyzing Taylor's University as a CSR example. The key initiative is the Impact Labs and Sustainability Engagement from 2023 to 2024. This initiative combines the students' curriculum with the concept of sustainability and social impact, as well as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that benefited society. The second initiative is the Launchpad Community Empowerment Project from 2023 to 2025. In 2023, this initiative empowers refugee communities with education and hygiene to support them well-being. Then in 2024 to 2025, it expanded to Orang Asli's communities, as well as a new self-sustainable reusable pad production, which greatly benefited society as a whole. Up next, let us take a look at their alignment with CSR principles and their potential improvements that can benefit from this. Well, these initiatives reflect strong CSR principles such as social impact and inclusivity that addresses all societal needs, environmental responsibility aligned with SDG projects, stakeholder engagement, which involves student, faculties, NGOs, and the communities in all together. However, these efforts can be greatly improved much more better by collecting community feedback, by improving its effectiveness, expanding cross-sector partnerships such as the government and NGOs for better support, and developing long-term social enterprises from students' project to see their viewpoint and develop sustainable and better ideas in the future. In conclusion, to sum up everything, business ethics are essential for building trust, maintaining reputation, and avoiding conflict, while corporate social responsibility is essential for businesses to give back to society and the environment, as well as improving the social responsibility and quality of life for all workers. By studying these examples of business ethics and social responsibility, we can apply the concepts to achieve success in businesses while being socially responsible at the same time and grow as a company as a whole. That'll be it for my part. Thank you for listening.